If you are in a relationship right now, let me turn you on to the Ritual app. You are going to schedule your one-on-one session live with your clinician every week. I happen to be one of them. And in preparation for these sessions, you and your partner every single week, you're going to look at your video content that is curated for you and your partner. And you're going to learn the relationship skills that you need to really keep your relationship running smoothly and to keep both of you strong and emotionally healthy. And you're going to meet with your clinician afterwards. You're going to take the assessment. You're going to do your journal prompts and take the assessment so your clinician can find out how you're doing and how things are going in your relationship and the areas that you may need to get stronger in. But Ritual is an absolutely amazing app. It's going to help keep your relationship on track. It's going to give you that curated time with your partner every week to work on your relationship. And so I want you to check out the link at the bottom of this video and click on it, and you will get 20% off of the Ritual app. You also have the opportunity to message your clinician in between sessions. So you can also do that. But it is an absolutely amazing tool, a great modern day tool for couples to keep their relationship strong and healthy. So check out the Ritual app today, and don't forget to use my link to get 20% off of your first month of Ritual. And if you'd like to work with me, please let them know you're interested in working with Anita Stoudmire. Hello, I just wanted to come on and make a quick video. And this video is actually for folks who are in relationships or married. And I get a lot of questions about this. This is one of the many teachings that I teach in couples therapy. And I get a lot of pushback on this. So I wanted to come on and I wanted to talk about this, and I wanted to give this lesson again. And what is the lesson? So if you are in a relationship with someone, or you're in a marriage and you are in something committed, right? So this is my person. This is the person I'm choosing. Remember, relationships and marriage is a privilege. So we are choosing this person. So if you're making the choice, if you're choosing to be with this person in a relationship or married, you are in essence, you are choosing the responsibility of them and their heart. You're also choosing the responsibility to teach that person how to love you. You have that responsibility. And too many people do not, number one, they don't know that. And number two, they act like they don't want that responsibility, but that is the truth. When you choose a person, when you choose to be in relationship with a person, you are in essence choosing the responsibility of teaching them how to love you. What does that mean? That means that, the process of teaching, it is a repetitive process, right? So think of a school teacher. She is teaching her students about math and about English and about writing and about reading and about history and about all these science and all of these things. It is not a one and done. She is not, giving a lesson and like, oh, that's it. You got it. And from this day forward, you ought to know all your times tables. No, it is a repetitive process of, I am going to teach you over and over and over about this and how to do it. And so a lot of us, we have somewhere in our head where, I've told my partner once or twice, or I've told my husband, I've told my wife once or twice. And, why do they keep doing this? Why do they keep doing this? Because the truth of the matter is this: when you've been with a person for any length of time, we tend to, this is what our brain does, because our brain needs to make space for all the new things we need to learn. We have to start automating things, okay? We have to automate things about people, about work, about situations, circumstances, other relationships we're in. We automate things. We say, okay, Anita's going to do this in this situation, or she's going to say this. So we have that just automatically in our brain. Anita likes this. Anita doesn't like that. Okay. But the bad news about that is when we stop being present, when we stop paying attention to the people that we are in relationship with, we miss things. We miss things. We miss those small little nuances. We miss those small changes that happen in our people's lives. So when we met Anita, we, in the first 3 months, we found out that her favorite candy was a Snickers bar, right? Snickers is Anita's favorite candy. And so we would bring her a Snickers bar, or we would, if we went on a trip, we'd get her a Snickers bar. Like, yeah, we don't want you to be hungry, okay? Because we know how you get when you're hungry. But what we fail to realize is maybe a year in, maybe 2 years in, Anita doesn't care for Snickers anymore. Anita's like, I'm not really a Snickers person. I'm more of a Reese's person now, right? And so 2 years in, we're on a trip. And we're thinking, okay, Anita's hungry. Let me get her favorite candy. And she's like, what's this? Oh, that's the Snickers bar. I don't like Snickers anymore. I don't eat this anymore. And we're frustrated because we're thinking, no, this is put in my automatic programming of Anita likes Snickers. Okay, but you have to be present. You have to allow Anita to grow and evolve. You have to understand that who Anita was when you met 2 years ago is not who Anita is now. Anita is allowed to grow and evolve and change and like different things, same as you are, right? So I have to do that to my partner. So if my partner is no longer, a perfect example is my kids. That's one of the things I love about being a parent is when you're raising a child from baby all the way up to adulthood. Their favorite food is going to change. Their favorite drink is going to change. They're going to physically grow and look bigger and different and all the things. And so you kind of have to keep evolving with your children. You have to keep growing and evolving with your children. Because my son, his favorite drink for many years was sweet tea. That's what he loved. He was a sweet tea drinker. He despises sweet tea now. And so my mom, she used to serve that. And then the day came where my son was like, yeah, I don't drink that anymore. And my mom really had a tough time, like, not serving that because I was like, Mom, he doesn't like it anymore. So guess what? We have to pay attention. We have to pay attention to our people. We have to be willing to teach other people, like, how to love us, how to be with us. So my son is doing his part by saying, hey, I don't like sweet tea anymore. And now we have to do our part by not serving sweet tea at every meal. See how those two things have to go together? So what if my son didn't speak up? What if he didn't say, hey, I don't like sweet tea anymore? What if he just allowed my mom to serve him sweet tea at every meal, but he either didn't drink it or he drank it and he was resentful? Like, I don't even like this anymore. It's too much sugar. I just don't want it. He plays a part. Like, he's responsible for his part, just like my mom is responsible for her part. So that's what I have to teach couples. Like, there's always one person in a couple dynamic where that person is not playing their part in teaching the other person how to love them, right? I see it all the time. It's the husband or the wife, but it's one of them that isn't willing to speak up. They're not willing to, like, tell the other person, hey, I don't like this. Hey, I don't want this. Hey, this doesn't work for me anymore. I know this is something I used to like or used to do, but it doesn't work for me anymore. And so what happens is that person grows more and more resentful. They grow more and more frustrated, but they also have to recognize they're not doing their part. They're not speaking up. They're not, saying, hey, this doesn't work for me. I don't like this. So it's going to take two people. So here's what will happen. They'll get into some conflict, right? A couple will get into some conflict. And the first person is like, hey, maybe they speak up in that moment. Hey, I don't like this. This doesn't work for me. So I want you to remember next time. But here's the thing you have to understand. The way the human brain works is we're probably not going to remember the next time. Like, it is up to that person to remind the other person, hey, like, that one time is not going to cut it. You have got to every single time stand up for yourself and speak up for yourself and say, hey, I don't like this. This doesn't work for me. I don't appreciate this or whatever. And this is the pushback I get. Well, why should I have to keep saying something? They're a grown adult. Why can't they remember? Why do I have to keep talking about this? Because you have the responsibility to advocate for yourself. You are responsible for you. You are responsible for what you like, what you don't like, what you need. And this idea that you're going to tell someone one and done, and they're going to remember from that day forward every single time, that's just not realistic. It's just not realistic. I hate to tell you, but that's the truth. They're not going to remember. But you are still responsible for teaching this person how to love you, how to treat you. And this idea that, okay, I said it that one time, and especially if you're the type of person that you really don't do well, being verbal, communicating with words. If you don't do well communicating with words and being verbal, see, you're going to shut down. You're like, oh, it took a lot for me to even say it that one time. And now you want me to keep saying it? Yeah. That's a part of the process of you getting better at speaking up for yourself, at you getting better at advocating for what you want and need. But yes, I do expect you to keep doing that. I do expect you to keep letting people know what your needs are and all of it. But I see this so often where one or both people, it's the good old, they should just know. They should just know I said it that one time and they should remember forever. No, it doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. And you're part of the problem. This is what couples don't want to hear. When you're not speaking up, when you're not standing up for yourself, you're part of the problem. You're the reason why you're not getting your needs met, because you have adopted this attitude of, I shouldn't have to say it with words. They should just know. This is common sense. Everybody knows this. You're part of the problem. I hate to break it to you, but you're part of the problem. So, but that is one of the skills that I have to work with couples a lot, is 15 years in, 20 years, 25, 30 years in, you are still responsible for teaching people how to treat you. You will forever, until one of you dies. You are equally responsible. So just like they're responsible to learn, you're responsible to teach. And that will go on forever. Okay? You will never be absolved of that responsibility. It is childish. It is emotionally immature to say something like, they should just know. I should not have to keep saying this. I should not have to keep doing X, Y, Z. No, that's you being childish. A grown adult continues to advocate for what they want, tell people what they don't want, and let people know what they need. That's it. That's it. So a lot of people, I get pushback for this all the time. I'm like, no, the way human beings work is we put things on autopilot. And, that has its pros, but it also has its cons. We are not always present with people. We're not always paying attention. We take people for granted. We become ambivalent. We start getting lazy in relationships. Relationships require time, energy, and effort. And it's the people who want to engage with other people and then put everything about the relationship on autopilot and then wonder why they get left. Oh, why did so-and-so leave me? Why is so-and-so checked out? Why is so-and-so no longer interested in, the relationship? That's why. Because you are not a present participant in the relationship. And I hate to say this, but I'm going to say it. Men are really guilty of this. Men specifically are guilty of this. And it's because men are not good multitaskers. They don't know how to be in a healthy relationship. They don't know how to give energy to a healthy relationship, spend time with their children, take their wife on dates, be good business owners, be good employees and do their work projects and hang out with their friends and do their hobbies they don't know how to do all of that. They don't. It's like something will suffer. And sad to say, because men are wired for doing and producing, it is usually the men's relationships. men's relationships suffer. And then they're like, well, what happened? Why is my wife leaving me? Why are my kids checked out? My kids don't celebrate Father's Day. You know what? Y'all gonna hate this, but I'm gonna say it. Gentlemen, if you have not had the woman in your life and the children in your life truly celebrate you on Father's Day, that right there, gentlemen, that is a sign of the health of your relationship with the women in your life and the children in your life. If you are one of these dads talking about, I don't get nothing on Father's Day, I don't get no card, I don't get no this or that, that speaks to the health of your relationship with your children and the woman in your life. So I just want you to check yourself, okay? Check yourself, check those relationships, because they're probably not good. Your relationships are not good with your children or the woman in your life. So whether that's your wife, your girlfriend, or whoever. But that's why. Like, they're thinking on any other day, you don't care nothing about us. You don't care nothing about me. And so now you want a big, you want a big to-do on Father's Day. Like, that's the truth. Most people are going to check out because they're like, for what? Like, why am I now going to put this big, barbecue or this big dinner or whatever? Why am I going to do that for Father's Day when every other day our relationship is not great? Every other day you're off working, you're ignoring us, you're not taking good care of us emotionally or any other way other than financially. Yeah, they're not going to do anything big. Sad to say, but that's the truth. And men don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. So if your relationship is not great in any other way and you're expecting, I want a big old Father's Day blowout, that's not going to happen. And, my own children, like I don't think any of my kids went down to North Carolina for their father for Father's Day because they're like, okay, like, how is this different than any other day where our dad really doesn't, care about us or do anything with us or for us? Like, again, other than financially, like, there's no emotional, like, bandwidth there at all. So, sorry, so that's going to hurt somebody's feelings, but it just is what it is. So, again, I often tell men, a big part of your success as a man is how happy the relationships are with the people in your life. So if you don't have a good relationship with your wife, if you don't have a good relationship with your children, if you don't have a good relationship with your mother or your father, in my eyes, I don't care how much money you make. You're not successful. You're not a successful man if the relationships in your life are all crappy. Sorry, not sorry. So how you feel about that is how you feel about that. But we have to give the time, energy, and effort to our relationships. We have to prioritize our relationships. And we definitely have to take responsibility for how we show up in our relationships. And we have to teach people how to treat us. And so we can't sit around and be resentful and be bitter and, feel a way about, this person keeps doing this thing or they keep, I talked to them about this. I'm like, okay, you talked to them one time, but what healthy relationships require is that we are constantly telling people, teaching people, talking to people. Like, that's what it requires. So this idea of one and done, that I'm just going to say it one time and that person should remember. No, because you're not going to remember. How many times has someone said to you, hey, I don't like this. Hey, this doesn't work for me. And then you find yourself 3 weeks later back in that situation again. You didn't remember. So they're not going to either. That's human beings. We automate things. We make things automatic because we need to free up that space in our brain. Okay? So if you are in a relationship, just like I have to keep talking to my kids about hanging up the bath mat and, washing their dishes in the sink or putting the dishes in the dishwasher or, hey, y'all, can you remember to do X, Y, and Z? Turn off the lights. Like, I am constantly teaching the people in my household, hey, this doesn't work. This is not good for me. This doesn't feel good. Like, it is a constant thing. It's not a one and done. And it certainly isn't that way in a relationship. Like, you are committed to teaching another person how to meet your needs in a relationship. And if I could be so bold, if you don't want to do that, you probably shouldn't be in a relationship. Okay? If you don't know how to open your mouth and use words to express to the people you're in relationship with, like what you need or want or don't want, you ain't got no business in a relationship. You're just sitting around getting more and more frustrated, getting more and more resentful. And the truth is, you're a part of the problem. You're a big part of the problem, but see, you don't want to hear that. But that is what it is. So I just wanted to jump on and give this little talk for the couples, because I am seeing some rookie mistakes amongst the couples that I work with. And, I went into the wrong, oh no, there we go. Trying to get to my appointment. And, you all are making, in my opinion, rookie mistakes. This is a very basic, thing that I teach couples. Like, if you don't want to do this for the rest of your life, then you need to exit this relationship, because that's just what's required. That is just what's required. So that's it. I hope this was helpful. If you're watching this on YouTube, please give it a great big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Share this video with anyone you think could benefit from it. I appreciate you all. I so appreciate your comments and your likes of the videos and your engagement with the videos. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of the day. And as always, stay open to love.